Okay, can you hear me? Good. Good evening, beautiful people, members of Toasted, and yeah, everybody in the room. Welcome to New Year with Toasted. New beginnings, let's see what they bring. Normally, every beginning with us is a very interesting one and fresh one and thrilling one and entertaining one. So we have apologists tonight, and that is Chantel. She is our SAA. What is an SAA at Toasted? That is the Sergeant of Arms. Sounds very militant, militaristic, could almost be German, but it is the one who opens the meeting. So I welcome you and I give you some house rules. One of the house rules is when we have an interval that we find the comfort areas when you come out, go left, and then to the right, ladies and gentlemen. When we have the interval, we are going to have a breakout room, and that will be explained later. And John, who is so kind to look after our guests online, will be there as well. And if you like to have a chat and meet with each other and mingle, then please be welcome to go there while we here have our own little party. And when you want give your acknowledgement of the speaker, you wave your hands either like that. In the room, you can clap and okay, and say it again, Justine.
Oh, no, I'm just asking.
Okay. So you can either do this or you clap. The people on online will be muted, but here in the room, we can hear what's going on. And having said all of that, I wish you a wonderful evening. And I would like to hand over to our most wonderful, charming, and super efficient President, Justine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to all of our guests online. Welcome to all of our guests in the room and all of our wonderful Toasted members. So great to see everybody again. It feels like forever since we were together. I mean, it has been over a month. It just feels extra long. And I was thinking about what we could speak about, what I could speak about coming into this year's meeting with our theme, A New Direction. So I thought about, it's a new year, it's a new Toasted year, and it's our very first meeting, and it's a new direction. So I just wanted to first acknowledge all of the members in Toasted, online and in person, those who can't be with us today, but those who come when they can come. This club would not be possible without you. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for showing up, for taking on roles, because those are so important. And for those guests, the roles are what Gabrielle has just done as SAA, introducing the club and just the little house rules. But you'll see this evening, there's a timer, there's an R counter, there's a grammarian, there are evaluators, and there are speeches. So whenever someone makes a speech, they then get evaluated. So they technically get feedback on the speech and how they can improve for their next speech. So without all of you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking it on and just being so amazing. So I just want to give you all a round of applause. Thank you. And then I wanted to share something with you, and I'm sure you all are mindful and aware of this, but have you ever been, well, someone was in a conversation and someone says to you or tells you about this new car. I'm just going with the car because it was the first thing that came to mind, and it's easy because you see lots of them every day. And they show you this car, because I'm also quite visual, so I need to see this car. And I'm like, oh, great, this is whatever kind of car. And then suddenly you find yourself driving on the highway and you notice in this car that you've never seen before. And then you're at a restaurant and you park and you suddenly see this car. And then you go to the shops and you see this car. Now it's everywhere. Have you had that before? Yeah. So what is happening is that you've activated your RAS. So it's your reticular activating, I want to make sure I get it right, system. Thank you. So it's your RAS. And when you activate your RAS, you start noticing things around you. It gives you like this arousal, this gives you this consciousness of what it is that you have been seeing and gives you the motivation. So I love, this R counter, just cancel that out. If you start noticing different things in your life, you'll become more mindful of them. So I just thought that was quite a nice way to start the year of being intent about what you are focusing on and taking yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, because we all love our comfort zone. Gabrielle, please let that person in. Just let the person in on Zoom. And being more mindful of what you are putting your mind to, I suppose. Because I even know, I mean, I'm not a yogi, but I like to think I'm practicing yoga now for the last few months. And even I can see it in myself, how I've changed my mindset on breathing with just going to yoga practices, and the yoga teachers guide you through breathing and all those great things. So that was just my little words of encouragement, is let's just be more mindful on our RAS and opening it up to more exciting and wonderful things for the year. Thank you. So then I want to just welcome all of our wonderful guests. We've got quite a few guests online. Well, we've got Ignacio. Hello and welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you for being with us this evening. How did you come across Toasted?
Catherine, my private teacher, invited me.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. She loves
Yeah.
to bring guests to our meetings.
Much.
John, is there any? Oh, we've got Sabale. Are you still online? Would you like to just say a quick hello to us? Otherwise,
Hi.
hello from here. Hello. Thank you for joining us. How did you hear about us online?
I researched online on the internet.
Oh, okay. And we popped up.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Paying for those keywords is helping.
Thank you so much for being with us this evening. And then Unati, welcome to you. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you? Are you well?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
Good, I'm good, thank you. How did you hear about us?
I was actually looking for networking events around Cape Town, the city center.
Mm.
And then that's how I actually came across the Toastmaster. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for being with us, and we hope you enjoy the evening. And hello to all of our beautiful Toasted members online, Libby,
Okay.
Nina, John, hello, Shifa. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody now. And now to all of our wonderful guests in the room, I'm going to just go that way around. Becky, hello again. Welcome, and thank you for being with us this evening. Would you like to share just a word, how you're feeling for this evening?
How's it, everyone? My name is Becky, as you said already. I found out about the course through the GSB, where Larry was one of the lecturers. Super keen to get to know everyone, develop my public speaking, of course, presenting skills. When they have questions, I think people probably tell me.
Awesome. Yay. Well done. Yeah. And then Ahmad, hi, welcome again. Would you like to share a word or sentences on what brought you here today?
What can I say? Good evening, everyone. It's my first in-person experience in event. Don't know how much to expect from this night, but I engage with the as I can, get to know you more, and understand really the essence of. I know that we can develop some skills. What we individually like to grow. But being here, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone already, so I like it.
Okay. being out of your comfort zone is where the growth happens. So it's going to be great. I look forward to it for you. And Julia, welcome. You are a friend of Catherine's. Would you like to share a word? How are you feeling about being here? Okay.
Just do good, that's all.
Great. I think there's lots of us that still need to practice our listening skills. So that's great. Thank you, Julia. Brandon, welcome. Would you like to share a word or a phrase or a sentence?
Yeah, I think I've flirted with coming to Toastmasters since I was a student.
Okay.
It's just been nearly coming a few times, so probably pushing it over the edge.
She's very persuasive. Okay, well, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Gabrielle as well.
Yes.
She's my sister and mother, so she's incredibly persuasive and she's passionate about something. You can't help but feel passionate as well.
Yeah. Okay, great. And congratulations, they both just got married.
Yeah, I'm Philip. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. I love your
from
eagerness.
Berlin. I'm a fan of Jeremy's. We met here 5 years ago, and then we bumped into each other 3 years ago in Tenerife. And we are both like digital nomads, remote workers. I just arrived in Cape Town last Thursday, and I'm just pretty curious to see what I do.
We're doing so much, so you'll see it all tonight. JP, welcome.
Hi.
What brought you here today?
So I watched the documentary on Warren Buffett. And
Okay.
He said one of the most noteworthy things that he's accomplished that's carried him the most in life was Toastmasters, and he had a little certificates.
Oh, great.
Back to his also, I thought I actually watched it quite some time ago in 2024. Here we go.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
to find my voice and to grow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's the place to be. Yeah. Thank you. I've said hello to all of our beautiful guests. I just wanted to talk, and Sean's going to mention it lots of times tonight. You all have these little notes on your tables. You all should have pens. You all should have pens on your tables too. I'm going to ask you to please take a couple of them, as many as you want. And whenever someone speaks, especially our prepared speakers, because they have worked tirelessly, they've worked hard at creating a special speech with an impactful message for us to take away. Send them some words of encouragement, empower them, send them love. And this is the time for you to pass notes around the room. You will not get into trouble for this, so please pass the notes around the room. We encourage it, as long as you don't disturb our speakers. Then we're good to go. So these are the woohoo notes. And in the chat box. So for our online members, please send words of encouragement. Share the beautiful, wise words that you take away with you today. Okay, fabulous. And now, it's my pleasure to hand over to. Oh, thank you. I didn't do the toast. And I don't even have my toast. Sorry. Thank you, Sean. That's why Sean is around. He keeps me in check. What did he say you were?
I'm your wingman.
My wingman, yeah. So Sean is my wingman. He keeps me in check. I would like you to all take this opportunity. For those online, please unmute yourselves. For everybody to stand up. And we just raise our glasses to South Africa and all her speakers.
To South
To
Africa.
South Africa and all her speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
Now I can hand over. I'm officially handing over to Sean. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Toastmasters is a great place to come and meet people and just be yourself. And you will find that we clap. And there's a reason why we clap. It's because it engages people. It keeps us all engaged in the program. So we welcome you to clap and be generous with your clapping. When I thought about the agenda for tonight, I know this is a tennis court, but I was thinking about new beginnings. And what do you think this is that I'm holding at the moment? And I know it sounds, but I want you to think laterally for a second. What is that?
The flow of the world.
It's potential energy.
Yes.
So what is that? That's kinetic energy. Okay. So you cannot start a new beginning with potential energy. You can only do it with kinetic energy. Okay. So if you want to get a new beginning going, you've got to take that potential energy that you've got, we've all got it, and you've got to shift it into kinetic energy. My dad did this exercise with me differently. He said to me one day, he said, son, what is this? I said, it's tennis ball. He said, it's potential energy. What's that? I looked at him, what's this guy doing? He said, that's kinetic energy. You better get your ass together. After that, I went in my room and I got stuck into the books. I thought, I better get the kinetic energy going. Will someone find out where the ball went later? It wasn't meant to go that hard. Okay, so I'm just going to describe the agenda for the evening. So the first thing is we're going to have a grammarian. Now, a grammarian is someone there that is there to look at the language that we're using. And it keeps us in check when we're speaking to be able to just talk with better language that we use. Because sometimes unconsciously, we don't realize that we say certain things. And then this brings it back into our consciousness. So that's the role of the grammarian. And that grammarian will also give us a word of the day. And we have an R counter. And the R counter is also there to just pick up certain things in languages, like when we say things like R, so that and all of these people will come in, and just now you'll see they'll come up and they'll give you a proper debrief of these. And then we have a timer. So in public speaking, you can't run the clock. The clock is important. So why we have a timer is the time is important. So you don't want to be going over the clock, and then also you don't want to go too close under the clock. So there are 3 stages, and that'll be explained by the timer just now. And without further ado, then I want to just introduce the evaluator role. So can I just first get the grammarian to come up, please? Olga?
Hello, everyone.
How are you, Olga?
I'm breathing. So once I said to my friends in my team that I have a speech first time in my life in public, and I think I'm so afraid. And the friend said, no, it's the wrong word. You must say, I'm so excited. Here we go. Right, I'm a grammarian. I was very brave to take that role. So, Mr. Toastmaster, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'm very pleased to be the grammarian and word master for this meeting. Right, let me explain my roles. My role is a grammarian, which is pay attention to the good use of English and provide suggestions for improvements. At the end of the meeting, I give you my report on any misuse of languages, as well as any outstanding uses. Right, you see, I'm a grammarian, I'm saying right twice already. So, the word of the evening today, determined. Determined. Determined means to give direction of tendency. Oh, sorry, to give direction or tendency to. As a theme of this evening, it can indicate your intention to approach everything you do with excitement, drive, and a sense of purpose. That's it.
Thank you. And now I'd like Andrea to come up. Andrea?
Hello, everybody. Greetings. Madam Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster. Sorry.
purpose of the art counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for unused words or overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker uses these expressions. Thank you. Toastmasters.
And now we invite the role of the timer. Richard, would you come up and just describe the role of the timer? Richard.
Greetings, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This evening, I will be keeping time for everybody. So as timer, I will time the table topics, the formal speeches. We don't have any icebreakers tonight, I don't believe. And I will also be timing the evaluations of the speeches, which you'll hear more about. I will keep time by indicating with 3 colored cards as the speakers are speaking in the room, and I think Justine will help me for people online. Each speech has specific allocated time, and I will indicate time with green, with yellow or orange in this case, and red for when your time is up. You can speak over that time, but that's just to indicate that you've overshot it. So for each category, we have different times. So for table topics, the time allotted is 2 minutes total. So green will come up on 1 minute, yellow on 1 minute 30, and then 2 minutes will be red for the end. Formal speeches are 7 minutes. So that's 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and then 7 minutes red. And the evaluators will have 3 minutes to evaluate. So that's 1 minute green, 2 minutes yellow, and 3 minutes red. Thank you.
So there are 4 speeches tonight, and each speech gets an evaluator. The one I noticed isn't online yet, but we're just going to see if the 4th speech does come because it's an online speech. But I'd like to introduce you to the first evaluator, and that is Mina, who's evaluating Catherine. And Mina, you're online. You can take yourself off mute, Mina. Hello, Mina. How are you?
Hello, Sane. I'm doing good. How about you?
Good, thanks. Would you give us the evaluation of what Catherine's speech is? What you're looking for evaluating?
Sure, I will. Today, Toastmaster Catherine is attempting her level 1 project 4 from strategic relationship path. And this is the first speech from this project. The purpose of this project of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Later on, she will apply this feedback and also attempt another evaluation to complete this project. So with that being told, a note to the timer, the time duration for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. With that, wishing you the very best, Toastmaster Catherine, and back to you, Toastmaster C.
Without further ado, Catherine Hansel, those hair-raising moments and what I took away from them, Catherine Hansel.
Richard, so it's 5 to 7 minutes, eh? It's not 3 minutes, this one.
5 for you.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine this. You are in these mountains, dark at night. There's only rocks and mountains around. It's pitch black. And suddenly you see these big gold eyes with green in them. And you wonder, what is it? This situation was actually my father in Nyanga, which is a mountainous, rocky place in Zimbabwe. And my father was a very creative management trainer. He's late now, and he used to put on these
courses for these corporates and what have you, and incorporate the outdoors. And that gold with the big green pupils was a leopard at 12 o'clock at night while he was hiding clues for all these sophisticated management trainers. So I think when he came back home, the first thing I remember him telling us about the story was he said, my hair, I could actually feel my hair going up. It was a hair-raising experience, hence my speech. Those hair-raising experiences and what we take away from them. I think what he took away from that was that he never wanted to be out in the rocks in the mountains at 12 o'clock at night, just in case he met a leopard 5 steps away. It was literally 5 steps away. Fortunately, the leopard hissed and moved on. So my own hair-raising experiences are something quite different. When I was about 16, these are the ones that come to mind the most. There I was dancing in this Italian nightclub. I think probably actually I was a bit younger, 14 and 15, with this dead drop, gorgeous Yugoslavian Milos. I'll never forget him. He was so good looking, really good looking. And we were having our shuffles and everything, and I felt like the luckiest girl in the world. And then my friend tomorrow said, Kathy, my mum's coming at 12. And at that stage in life, there was no such thing as a cell phone. And we were going to wait outside for her mother at 12, which was our curfew to be collected. So I remember turning around to her, I was quite a sassy teenager, and saying to her, don't worry, Milos's dad is fetching us a bit later. So won't you just phone my mum when you get home, because we lived on the same road, and just tell her I'll be home a little bit later. And really, when I look back on it, I was never a naughty teenager. I honestly just thought that would be okay, that mum would understand that I wanted to stay a little bit longer with my gorgeous Yugoslavian boyfriend at 14 or 15. So she said, oh, okay, I'll do that. Anyway, about 30 minutes later, I have this tap, tap, tap on the shoulder, and there's my late sister, Nicola, and she says, Kathy, mum is in the car with her curlers, her nightie, and her biggest old granny gown on and her big slippers. If you do not come out now, Milos and you, she's coming in. So that was a hair-raising moment for me. You've never seen someone stop a kiss so quickly and get out that door. Going on to my hair-raising moments, which unfortunately were also hair-raising moments for my family, I then went on to boarding school, and I decided one day that boarding school was not for me, and I packed my case and I took off across a field, and I ended up getting on a local bus with a lot of lovely local people who I had super chats with and asked them all about the chickens and everything on the roof. But when I got to Gweru, the CIA thought something was up. This is no joke. And about a week before that, a South African spy had been arrested because she had put some political bomb, or she had some really shady deal, bomb deal or something going in Zimbabwe. So they automatically assumed, well, this is a bit suspect. She must be connected to that. And believe it or not, I spent about 3 hours in a jail. I then had to phone my father, and he said to me, besides walking off Boomy Bridge, which was blown up 5 minutes after he walked off it, it was the most hair-raising moment in his life. And of course, after that, we decided boarding school was definitely not for me. In more recent years, I would say about 9 years ago, this is probably one of the most hair-raising moments in my life. I'd actually been reading the book Marley is Me about a beautiful Labrador, and I went to stay at a wine farm in Franschhoek with my friends, and I called the dogs out to go for a walk in the vineyards, and I was calling them, come on guys, and they normally go woof, 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 and the one dog went woof, and then it bit my bum. And I thought, okay, something's wrong here. This is a pack of dogs now, collies they were, which are very cute, meant to be cute. But there are 8 of them, and the one is barking in a very strange way. The next thing, this dog continued to completely lay into me, and I had 8 collies laying into me, biting me, and all I could remember was that one of our friends who belonged to the Alsatian Dog Club, whose child took a pack of dogs out in England, was actually eaten by them. I'm not joking. So I thought, sweet, friendly dogs. So there I was being attacked. Eventually, after about 7 minutes, the owner decided to come out and greater awareness with the fact that people desperately need that hour on a lunch break, especially if you're working them into the ground. And I'm prepared to stand up for it. And if it means putting it on my Facebook, the hair raising thing, and perhaps if I get a job at the company, they might think, oh, that's the lady that campaigns for lunch breaks. We don't want her around. Who knows what the hair raising moments could be. And the second one is, I really want to, going forward, campaign for 9 weeks annual leave for every employer. So many of my friends have suffered from burnout or nervous breakdowns or horrific physical hospital treatments, etc. And it all boils down to being overworked and not having, and if you think of it, 3 weeks just flies by. So those hair-raising moments of what I have to face, possibly with legislation, with who do I get on board, with how do I start a campaign, how does it work, are hair-raising. I'm sure there will be hair-raising moments, but they're also very exciting moments as I proceed with campaigning for the world for lunch breaks and bringing greater awareness for them, for employees, and also 9, not 3 weeks leave, but 9 weeks leave for every employee per year. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. So Catherine was determined to have a good time with the Yugoslavian. And later in life, it shows you how you change from a teenager to an adult. She's determined to give people 9 weeks leave. Good luck with that. You're going to come up against a lot of Yugoslavians here that are not going to want to kiss you. All right. So so the woo notes. If there's any notes that you got that you want to write about that, if you want to write Catherine in a Catherine, can you just give me a better description of the Yugoslavian? I don't want to feed into you over there. I just want to get closer to that. Please write your comments on the woo notes. Okay, so now we're going to introduce our second evaluator, and this is Jeremy. And Jeremy, will you come up and talk about Chantal's speech and give us what you're going to talk about?
Well, I didn't have this beautiful introduction prepared. Mina, you're going to have to give me your preparation, because that were some good lines to do this beautiful evaluation. I also prepared to give Chantal my determined attention. I even sat with my coach today. So like, look, how can I prepare best for you? He sent me something that I didn't print, but next time I will come prepared. I'm determined. You talked a little bit on a 2-minute audio on what you would like me to focus on, and for me, I feel like I caught that I can do whatever I want. but you will have my attention, and I'm going to be with you as you deliver your speech. Part of the visionary communication introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Good luck.
Well, Chantal Fit is talking about great mentors inspired by Chantal Fit. That's perfect.
A good mentor can add value to your life and your career and your personal development. I didn't have a good mentor. I had a great one. She not only added value to my personal development, she changed the course of my life. It all happened when I turned 24. I'd become a Christian and had this overwhelming desire to add value to the world and to help people. So what I did was I phoned the church and I said, what projects can I get involved in? And they said, speak to the social worker who's also the senior pastor's wife. She knows all the projects. So I gave Jenny a call and I explained what I wanted. And Jenny said, no problem, fetch you at 8 tomorrow. When Jenny arrived, she was really not what I was expecting. First of all, she was really tall. She didn't like wearing shoes. And she had this crazy flyaway blonde hair that just could not be contained. And she laughed a lot. In fact, my time spent with Jenny is the time that I've laughed the most as an adult. By mid-afternoon, she'd shown me most of the projects in Cape Town, and there was just one left. This was special to her because she was the CEO of a street children's home. When we arrived there at the strange orange building, my first impression was the stench. I thought, I cannot do this. I need to go home. And second of all, what am I doing with children? I want to help adults. What I didn't realize at the time was that what changed the course of my life that day. It started on my journey as becoming a social worker. It started my lifelong career as a child therapist. And it was also the day that I started being mentored by this incredible human being. Jenny taught me many things, but I'm going to sum up 3. Jenny taught me to be a servant leader. Simon Sinek has a famous book called Leaders Eat Last, and he explains many principles, but I'm going to do the one that Jenny most embodied, which is she always put others first. Even though she was a senior pastor and the CEO, she never tried to grasp position. In fact, she often took the dirty jobs that no one wanted. A memorable occasion was we were planning an event and all the tasks had been assigned out, and the last one was left, keeping the toilets clean and making sure that they were functioning well for the hundreds of people that were coming through. No one wanted the job. Eventually, Jenny put up her hand. She said, I'll do it. We were all horribly embarrassed and ashamed because not only was she the pastor's wife, she was also the keynote speaker. The second thing she taught me was to make life as fun as possible. Now, Christians are traditionally seen as boring, stuck up, and quite legalistic. And I was definitely on my way to becoming one of those. But then Jenny collided into my world. She was fun, adventurous, and incredibly chaotic, actually. She loved pranking people. She had a handy little bag of stink bombs in case things got boring for her. She used to grease the door handles of the church congregants. One of her favorite things was to cling wrap the toilet seats. So when you went to the toilet, you often got a big surprise. The screams were quite amazing. And Jenny often got me to do things that I had no intention of doing. A memorable occasion was me driving from Mozambique through to Malawi, through to Zambia. I was meant to be in England. I went through swamp-infested rivers. I could have disappeared. We almost died. Our car could have disappeared in a sinkhole and no one would have known we were. We didn't have cell phones at the time. I walked through bilharzia-infested rivers. And we ran out of food and water, but she miscalculated the amount of time that we were actually going to be on the road. Also, it was chaotic. I remember a light bulb moment to how adventurous and chaotic she was when I was hanging off the bridge with my 4x4, one wheel on, one wheel off, and 2 wheels
teetering precariously, thinking, I'm going to die. This is actually going to happen today. This is it. And looking at her and thinking, it's you. It's always you. This is what happens when I'm with you. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, she taught me to put families first. Now, this was quite pioneering of her because in that day, pastors' kids turned out really funny and dysfunctional because they were last in the queue to actually get any attention. The congregants always came first, not Jenny. And she was okay with looking bad and disappointing people. So even though Jenny was the kind of person that she'd be found running in the street at 2 a.m. as a yardstick for your behavior today. And I often still think to myself, what would Jenny do? Would she be kinder? Would she have more patience? Would she give more money to the project? My time with Jenny profoundly changed the course of my life, but it will also echo on for generations to come because she's changed me. My children are being impacted by it, and their children will also be impacted by it. I didn't have a good mentor. I had a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, Chantal. Geez, Jenny sounds like a wonderful person. I'm sitting here going, oh God, Sean, you could do a little bit better in your life. like I'm going to brush that, I'll just brush my halo, but like become a better mentor, yeah. But jokes aside, a great mentor it's important in our lives. You know, I've had 3 mentors in my life that have profoundly impacted, and it's amazing how you always remember them for what they did and how they made me, you know, so well done for that speech, great speech. So now we come to our third evaluator for the evening, and that's Verity Price. Verity, will you come up and just tell us what you're going to be doing about Lawrence?
Being very formal. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters guests online. And Lawrence is going to be speaking from the engaging humor pathways. It's level 1, project 2. And this is the idea here is writing a speech with purpose to deliver an effective and well-defined speech on a narrow enough topic that we all enjoy listening to it, which I know that Lawrence will not struggle to help us enjoy his speech. So over to Sean to introduce him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Lawrence Bull with Winning Strategy. Winning Strategy, Lawrence Bull.
Warren Buffett is one of the best investors in the world. His net worth after today's Googling session is $121.6 billion, which is exactly 121.5999999999 billion more than in my account. Which is why I follow him and model his behavior out on his success. Now, most people don't know that he amassed 98% of that massive fortune after the age of 60. He actually wasn't and isn't the best investor of all time. There are many other people a little bit sharper and smarter that can pick stocks better than him, and they can outperform him in the short run. But what he did, he adapted and was consistent. He started investing in stocks at the age of 11. That's when he bought his first stock. I was still playing computer games. I don't know what I was missing. And he made mistakes, adapted his approach, and then he spent 80 years consistently compounding. We all know the effect of compounding, right? It's not the burger you have every now and again that creates obesity. It's the daily double cheese and fries that does. That's compounding in action. And my proposition to you today is that the winning strategy is one where you can adapt, get a formula that works, and then consistently execute that strategy and let compound do its magic. And this can work in finances, in healthcare, and can even help you in gaming. Now picture this. I'm a 12-year-old digital native. In my hands, I've gripped my PlayStation controller, which I feel is like the wheel of fortune. My eyes are locked on the screen. It's not just FIFA soccer for me. This is more important. This is a battle. This is the arena where I'm going to have the most epic showdown. Who is my foe, you might ask? It's not my friends. That's too easy. It's my dad. Now you might think, young guy against an old fart should be easy, right? No. My dad, with his hands that were built for kneading dough, would punch my poor controller with such chaotic precision. He didn't know what he was doing, but he scored incredible goals looking like a FIFA legend. So I was desperate not to lose again. And I went to the high priest of PlayStation at our high school. And I asked for some sage advice. And he said to me, there's a glitch in the matrix of this game, that if you run on the left-hand side of the screen, 20 meters away where the corner of the penalty box comes, there's a bit of a Bermuda triangle. When you kick it in there, it disappears into the back of the net. So I went home, I tried it, and then I started to get consistent. I was like a monk in meditation, practicing daily. It became my art. And the reason was because I knew there was going to be another showdown of David versus Goliath proportions, if David had a handgun. Obviously, I had a bit of a secret, so I went to my dad and I said, you know, Dad, you're so much better than me in this game. Do you mind just playing me just one more time? And sure, my dad couldn't resist, as us men's egos struggle too. And we started to play. In the first half, I let him score 5 goals. I felt like I had the cheat code, so I wanted to at least make it a bit of a fight. And at the halfway point, I was tempted. I was tempted to step back and let my dad win. It was one of the few things that he still had on me. And then he whispered in my ear, he leant in, and with the most condescending tone, he said, this must be embarrassing for you, huh? Game on. I took my player through the left-hand side of the screen, 20 meters away at the corner of the goal post, through the Bermuda Triangle, kicked as hard as I could, and boom, scored the first goal. And my dad whispers, and under his breath, he says, beginner's luck. And I'm thinking, Dad, I'm no longer a beginner. I follow the same route, 2-5, 3-5, 4-5. My dad now turns from the Zen monster into this Hulk because of the broken remote. And I score the 5th tying goal, and with 30 seconds left to spare, I pause the game. And I look at my dad. And I lean in. And with the most condescending tone that I could say, Dad, this must be embarrassing for you. We resumed the game. I followed the same process going on the left-hand side and won that match. David was triumphant. And I learned 2 really important and valuable lessons that day. The first, if you beat and embarrass your dad a few weeks before Christmas, elves steal your presents. Even the presents from your mom. And the second lesson is that there are two things that you need to be successful. You need to adapt your approach to find a successful formula. And once you've found it, you obsessively and consistently execute. So I have 3 questions for you. Number 1, what game are you playing? Number 2, is your strategy working? And number 3, do you have the pride to say, I'm wrong and adapt? And do you have the discipline to stay consistent to your dreams?
So this reminds me of I once heard of a model, and it's called a 3D approach, and you've got to be dedicated, disciplined, and determined. Those are the 3 ingredients in life. If you get those 3 ingredients right, you'll be a success. Thank you, Lawrence, for that brilliant speech. Thank you so much. So now I just want to see, is Bill online? No. No. Okay, so our 4th speaker is a no-show. So John, you're off the hook on your evaluation tonight.
Sounds good. My guess, Sean.
For anyone with whom,
Sean, my guess is he may come.
He's not online. He's not here.
My guess is that he didn't know that South Africa does not have. My guess is he might come in on the hour because he may have mistaken the time zones.
Yeah, I thought maybe that, but you know, well, we'll see, because I sent him an email just before the evening. I said, we're coming online now. So
okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
We can see if he comes back. Okay, so can we get the Madam Mr. Tyler? Can we get the times for the speeches? Thanks, Richard.
Get in front of the camera here. So, for Catherine's wonderful, those hair-raising moments, and what I took away from them, 8 minutes 28 seconds. For Chantal's inspiring great mentors inspire, 6 minutes 19 seconds, just under time. And Lawrence's FIFA extravaganza coming in pretty much exactly on time at 6 minutes 58 seconds.
Justine, can we then move to the contest role players now? Because then we can move, if the speech does happen afterwards, then we're just swapping those around. Sure. Because we've got 10 minutes now to dinner. Okay. So I assume the food hasn't come yet, right?
No, it's coming at 5:02. Okay, so that's me.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello again. Oh dear. Oh, something's happening here too. Hello. We have got, so for our guests, what happens every year in Toastmasters is we have a contest, and it's not just within our club, it is within the whole worldwide of Toastmasters. And do you know that we actually have a world champion of public speaking in this very room? Verity! We have our contest coming up on the 27th of February. It's online. And what we need from all of you is for you to please sign up and let us know. We do know more or less who is speaking in the prepared speeches. We know more or less who are taking part in the evaluation contest. And we know, not really, but a couple of people who are taking part in the impromptu or table topic contest. However, there are also some other really great and fun roles that
we need in order to make our contest successful and amazing, and to help our members who are participating get to that world stage in August. Am I right? In August. And what we're going to need is we're going to need everyone who is going to help us on the night to please sign up on here. And the roles we need, so we've got a prepared speech. If you are thinking of signing up for the prepared speech, please jot your name in this block. I've left lots of space. If you need more space, make it happen. There's the evaluation contest. So if you want to participate in that, the table topics, and then we're going to need other roles such as timers, ballot counters, and a Zoom master. I didn't actually put Zoom master on here. Judges, a contest chair, which is basically a table topics master, and a chief judge. Please will you think about roles that you can take on so that we can help our amazing members reach to that stage that we're trying to get to. Because without you, it won't be possible. So it's the 27th of February. It's online, so we'll all be sitting at home. Hopefully no load shedding happens and we can all just do the contest beautifully. It is going to be quite a long evening just because we're doing all 3 contests in one night. But that's okay, because it will just happen and then we get to see who goes off into the next round. Have I left anything else out, Wingman?
Just talk about that the table topics can be done by anyone. And
Thank you. Yes.
Level 2.
You know, wow. So with prepared speeches, you have to have completed your level 1 and level 2 in pathways before you can compete in the prepared speeches. However, with the evaluation, the table topics, that's all, just those 2. Anybody can participate. So if you want to jump into table topics, please pop your name down. I'm going to leave it in the front. Don't all rush at once, but please put your names down and let's make our contest amazing. Okay, I think that's everything now. Okay, thank you. Yes, Claire,
And
sorry.
judges need to be anonymous,
Yes.
so they should let you know privately.
Okay, good thinking. So maybe just send me a woohoo note with your name on and say, I'm happy to be a judge. Okay, thank you, Claire. Okay, thanks, everybody. Okay, I also want to just talk about our fee structure going forward, just quickly before the break. As you can smell, our food smells amazing. And there are 2 new menus that the Cullinan have prepared for us going forward. Sorry for those online. It does smell great, but hopefully you've got great food at home. And due to the new menu and it's a new year, the amount that we're paying the Cullinan has gone up slightly. So we used to pay for members 110 Rand. It's moving up to 130 Rand as of our February meeting. So today we're good to go. We got the old price. And then from February, 130 Rand. And for our guests, it will be 150 Rand. So just wanted to let you all know that. Thank you. Okay, Siobhan, back to you.
Okay, so can we do the voting now?
Yes, we can.
So this is voting for best speaker.
We just don't have Bob or Bill, sorry. But
No, yeah, we will. Yeah. Okay, so this is where you take your phones out, scan the QR code, and then you'll see it will come up on your phone.
The right one, yes, everyone just being silent because it's wrong.
So do we do a drum roll?
Oh, do you want to go?
Okay. Okay, so we're going to break for dinner now. And I just wanted to say is that if there are any of the new people, the guests here tonight, that would like to do an impromptu speech, then you can speak to Claire. This is Claire, and she's going to be doing the table topics. Okay. All right. Let's go back for dinner.
Okay. I hope you had all a super little break and networking and interesting talks. And I always am so proud about this club as well, because I find we have such interesting, beautiful young people here. I say that because of the age gap, but I'm really so proud of all of you, what you're doing in your lives and how you stand there and you come here and you allow everybody to give a commentary and to be open to grow. So it's beautiful. Thank you for that. We have now the second part of our meeting, which is so exciting because number one, there comes the speech evaluations, which is absolutely always interesting. And then we have table topics. And I look so much forward to that. Claire is a very experienced table topicer. And then I wanted to say something as well, and that is my general job in the EXCO is I'm the Vice President of Membership. And if you should wish to join the club, which I really would wish myself, to expand our beautiful family, then please feel free to come to me, or I've written to many of you as well. Walk with you. May I hand over now to to Sean, because we have a little surprise. Bill has arrived and Sean will take you through it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabrielle. So Bill was determined to have his speech tonight. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce John, who is the evaluator for Bill. John, would you give us what Bill's topic is about?
Gladly. Bill Lewis is a computer scientist, a researcher, and a teacher who has worked at several of the more prominent universities and companies in the United States. He is also a past district governor for Toastmasters. He is a mentor and a teacher of teenagers. And the speech he is about to give to us was a speech that he gave to a group of teenagers in November at a youth leadership conference. The title of his speech is The Great Leader, and it is part of the presentation mastery pathway. Please make Bill feel welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. A cool breeze flowed across the hilltop where we stood, huddled together against the cold, waiting for the great man to arrive. There was a stage erected on the football pitch around which we gathered, vibrating with nervous anticipation. The entire village was there, along with anyone else who heard that he was coming. We were all talking quietly, whispering as if not to disturb the spirits. From the neighboring ridges, we could hear the chickens, the goats, the sheep, the oxen, ng'ombe in Swahili. They were all talking about him. The sun peeked out from around Mount Kenya, bathing us in light. The air was filled with the smells of farming, the crops, the soil, the dung heaps, and the smoke. It's a sweet smell that pleases the soul. Then there was that special fragrance of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 bodies all crushed together, waiting for our leader, the man who struck the final blow for independence for Kenya, the Mzee, the venerated one, our president, Jomo Kenyatta. Someone spots a dust cloud in the far distance. The red clay of the Aberdares throws up a spectacular display. There's more dust. A black limousine. No, two, three. On the neighboring ridge, on our ridge, we are quivering in nervous anticipation. The Bardi gods mount the stage, inspect it, and Mzee, Jomo Kenyatta, steps forward. We go wild, screaming and yelling and clapping and hugging each other, jumping up and down. The women are doing that ululating thing that they will do with their tongues, and it sounds like magic. The great man stands quietly, bathing in the adulation. Then he raises his fly whisk. Utter silence. Even Ng'ombe stops their lowing. He pauses, then salutes us, repeating those famous words we have heard 1,000 times on the radio. In his deep, resonant voice, he intones, Watu wa wote wa Kenya. People of Kenya, all people of Kenya. We exploded. We screamed and we screamed and we screamed. He then spoke to us and told us all the things we knew he was going to say, the things he always said. How proud he was of us for our accomplishment, how we had built Kenya into the freest, most stable, most prosperous nation in sub-Saharan Africa. We are the ones that he admired. The farmers, the fishermen, the teachers, and us, the American Peace Corps volunteers. We were all part of building this glorious democracy together. I felt so proud. I didn't join the Peace Corps for any noble purpose. I was graduating from college and I didn't have any particular plans, and the Peace Corps was a good thing, and so it sounded exciting. Now, John F. Kennedy, he was inspiring. As a kid, he called on me to join the president's fitness program. He created the Peace Corps to send Americans around the world to help third world countries advance. And he called on America to land a man on the moon by the end of the decade and return him safely to Earth. He told us that we do not choose to do this because it is easy. We choose to do this because it is hard. Because by doing things that are hard, we gain skills and knowledge and ability. By doing the things that are hard, we become better people. I don't know what made JFK and Jomo Kenyatta such impressive leaders. I can't tell you. There are dozens of men who had more connections, more money, better experience, but it was Kenya and Kenyatta who could make people's hearts sing. They were inspiring, and in office, they were determined and effective. They both called on us to be our better selves. While other African countries were falling into disarray and civil war and poverty, Kenyatta kept Kenya together and welcomed the English farmers and Indian shopkeepers to stay. And the life of the average Kenyan improved enormously. I taught high school in Mandera, Kenya, exactly on the border with Ethiopia and Somalia. It was a tiny town of a few hundred residents and a few thousand nomadic camel herders. I was happy. I didn't think I was doing anything particularly hard. I loved my students, I loved my fellow teachers, and I learned to love camel meat. To the people of the desert, to the Somalis, I was a minor deity. I had traveled halfway around the world to give their children the knowledge they needed to build a life in this modern world. This then is my admonition to you. Do what is hard. It hardly matters what it is that you choose to do, only that you throw your heart, your soul, your mind into doing this thing. That you become the person who others turn to for advice, for assistance, and for leadership. I leave you with the words of John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country could do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Bill. And we were challenged with technology, hearing that, and it would have, would have appreciated if we could have just heard more of that. But yeah, thanks for that great talk, Bill, and it's a great speech. Thank you. John, I assume you were able to hear, because I think it's our internet connection that's unstable. I think there's something going on with our internet. So we're just going to restart it, right?
Yeah, so just tell them we're going to just do 2 seconds.
We're just going to restart the internet, so just don't drop off. We're just restarting it, and if you do drop off, would you just sign back in? Because we have it on the other one, right? So they shouldn't drop off altogether. Okay. So now.
And then, sorry, also that we were going to.
My wing lady.
You're way better wing lady. A 2-hour meeting instead of, well, from like, what did we say?
From 6 till 9.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Sorry, 3 hours.
So yeah. So the other thing is what we have seen is we are trying to cram the meetings. You'll see tonight's meeting's agenda ran on a bit longer than what we normally would do it, because we're finding that we're just trying to like cram it, and then you end up like rushing it, which doesn't give proper, if we're here, rather just really enjoy the time that we have with each other. So the time would be 6 till 9, and if we cut earlier, happy days. If we don't, then we go to 9. Let's first hear what people have to say. We may get no takers for online meetings, and then there's no point in having a vote. If everyone says they want a hybrid meeting, then the point becomes moot.
And we can also, I think, because there's a lot of members that aren't here, is to send out a Google form, and then everyone can share their ideas. And
we can, yes, yeah.
Maybe just tell online what we're talking about, because
they dropped. Okay.
Well, they missed all of that.
Fortunately, that doesn't impact on that. Well, maybe it does if it's an online only meeting. But so I always forget that. So for you online guys, is we are just debating whether online only meetings should fall away and we should just continue with the hybrid meetings. And if there is a 5-week month if there's a 5 weeks in a month, then we could have 2 hybrid meetings in the 5-week month. That's what we're trying to debate.
And in a 4-week month?
We don't have one.
Sorry, can you just repeat that? Because some of us are only ever online.
Yeah, it doesn't you what we call hybrid. So when you're online with this meeting, it doesn't impact on you guys at all. We're just talking about when we have the only online meeting, then that's the one we're debating whether that is sustainable for us.
And then the speaker-thons, if we need to get speakers.
Yes.
Can you just explain why you would consider that not to be sustainable, to have the online meeting?
So what has happened that we have noted in the last online meetings that we've had is that the amount of attendees is substantially less than the hybrid meetings. So like, just by numbers here tonight, we maybe got, I don't know, 20, 25 people. In the hybrid meeting that we had the last time, there were 8. Sorry, in the online, there was 8. And in the hybrids, we've got here in the room, physically, we've got 25, and then we've got people, and online there's 10. So that's like or more than 3 times the amount of people, 4 times. So we're just saying that, is it sustainable to have the online only meetings? And just some other data is I've been speaking to other clubs because we've done training recently, and all of those, not all, Sean, oh, geez, that's a generalization. Come on, Sean, don't generalize like that. A lot of them have moved back to physical only meetings and not the online. They're saying that it's in person is what Toastmasters is about. It's, the online is not the same. It's not the same energy. Yes, hybrid stays. We stay hybrid. Yeah, no. In Libby, with you guys on the hybrid joining us, our hybrids remain. So we don't drop off any of the online when we have the physical meeting. We're just saying that the online only meeting that we don't have the hybrid with people in a room, that's the question whether we continue with that.
Okay, so I think it's 2 different conversations, because if you are only online, and I don't know whether John and Mina, and Herlande, people that have been part of Toastmasters Toasted since we've only ever been online. For me personally, the online is way better than the hybrid because the connection is poor. When we're all online, which is what the world is these days, there's far better engagement for us that are only online. We lose out in the hybrid meetings.
Because of the instability of the connection. So that's something that we need to, maybe take up with the Cullen and or wherever we're going to have our meetings, is that a stable connection is imperative. I get that. I think that's a very valid point.
It's not only the connection, it's the whole engagement. When we're all online, we all equal, for want of a better word.
Right. I hear that. So there's like I was going to say like an us and them, but maybe that's a bad way of putting it. But like, we're in a room and we're able to see each other, but you guys are not. Yeah. So it levels the playing field when we're all online. I hear that. It's a very, very important point.
I still see value in the online sessions, especially with so I see. Yeah, maybe I should get the debate off a little bit. So I think there is still value in the online sessions, especially because of my work. It's half remote, half in office. So I have to actually do a lot of meetings and presentations through Zoom and Teams. So I quite like the online session to practice some other skills. But I take your point that you look at engagement numbers and it's clear that one is superior to the other. So I would also be happy with just a plain once a month.
we go. That's the late
John wants to speak.
Then 1 month. 1 month online.
Yeah, John? We'll come back.
I agree with Libby that, you know, on the online only sessions, I can interact and make relationships with people, even if it is remote. It's very difficult to get to know people in the hybrid meetings. But I totally understand that you need to do what's best for the group as a whole in this post-COVID world. If you do go to hybrid only, I think you have some work to do. For example, I can't hear anything that is said away from where you're standing right now. You'll have to not only have a better internet connection, but possibly hand microphones around so that when people speak, we can hear them. During the introduction of guests, I can't hear anything. Usually during the Find Master session, you know, when the person is walking away from that podium area, I can't hear anything. So you would just have some tweaking to do as you go along. And I'm confident you can do that.
Okay. Yes, Jeremy?
I'm glad you guys are determined to make it work. But what I wanted to say is, it seems like the online meetings.
You come stand closer.
Case in point. Want to be inclusive. That it's also mostly about participants. That there don't seem to be a lot of people coming on the online meetings. If we can solve that, then you also have a case for more online meetings, or at least keep them rather than dismiss them altogether.
Okay. All right, so we'll take it offline, and we're going to put a vote out to everyone that we can all get, you know, more input in there. But
we can discuss it online.
yeah.
You can have an online meeting to discuss.
Yes. Yes. All right. Okay, so we're back to the agenda. So we now reconvene the first evaluator, which is Mina. Is Mina? Are you ready to give your evaluation?
Yes,
Sorry,
Toastmaster soon.
Sorry,
Can
is
I-
Bill
can
not
I-
just going to do his speech? Bill still has to speak.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Mina?
I
go,
can hear
Mina.
you, see. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You can start. Thank you.
Can I see Toastmaster Catherine? Can I have the camera focused at Toastmaster Catherine, please?
No, we can bring up Catherine. Come.
I'm just shut up for a moment. So, excuse my French.
Hi, Mina.
Hi, Toastmaster Catherine. Okay, I see you there in this little Zoom box. So, Toastmaster Catherine, today I could see a confident speaker having expressive gestures, a person who truly wanted to share her story to the audience. And the passion that you had was overflowing. I could feel it through the Zoom screen. 3 things that I like the most in your speech. First one is the storytelling element that you got us right from the start of the speech. 12 o'clock at night, stones and rocks are dark. My father saw something green and yellow. And the way you introduced the character with the suspense being revealed, it's a leopard. And then how you immediately jump into the title of the topic at the very start. Within 30 seconds, you had a story, you told what is the title about. That stood out the most for me. So you had a very strong start. Second is your hand gestures. It was very expressive. Knock, knock, time, I called my father, lunch break, and also the facial expression. You looked at the audience, all the corners. It was looking at your eyes, be it left, be it at the front, be it at the right. You looked around, and also you had these micro expressions, sassy. You had these expressions naturally coming in while you were giving your speech, and I loved all of this. And to add, what I also liked is when you stood on the stage and when you spoke, you filled the room with energy, and I could feel that vibe, especially when there was internet disconnection. I'm like, oh my God, I'm hearing such a beautiful speech. Why is this internet disconnected? That's the feeling that I got when I heard your speech. I have 3 recommendations for you. One, since you took 8 minutes 28 seconds to cut short the content, you can bring in the power of 3 stories, and also use the stage. You stood at the place and you conveyed all your stories. It's difficult for the audience to remember all of it, and also to make sure you are within the time frame. You can take 3 of the stories, use the stage. 1 story, move around the second story, and then move at the next part, then come to the front of the stage and share your message. Second one is, what was the specific message? I do not know if there was a puzzle missed out because of the internet connectivity. Was there a specific message? You may face many hair rising moments, but what is the action item for audience? For me, I felt, be bold and keep going. That's the kind of a message that I got. But did you explicitly state that? I do not know, because there was an internet glitch. That would be a point that I would request you to just see and ask feedback from the audience in person if you like to. And the third thing is, while you were transitioning, I had a bit of pause so that the story sinks in. And while you're transitioning, we can understand how you're moving around with the different parts of the stories. So with that, Catherine, I could feel the energy, the passion that you had while you were sharing your story. You have this brilliant, natural movements that comes with you, these hand gestures, facial expressions, eye movements, connect with the audience, retain all of this. These are your strengths. To add, work on 2 elements: the message, specific message that you want to leave the audience with, stage usage, and the power of 3 so that you stay well within the time. With that, wishing you the very best for your upcoming speeches, and would love to see your level completion and a confident speaker giving her message and impacting people across the globe. Thank you, Catherine, and back to you, Toastmaster scene.
Thanks, Nina.
So now we have Jeremy. He's evaluating. Would you come up, please, Jeremy?
Well, we just caught up on it in the break, and I can be very short. It was great. Thanks. I want to start at the end, actually. I really liked our conversation just now and how you said, yeah, this is just an easy personal story. It's easy to tell those. And with that, I felt like maybe you're onto something because it was such a powerful, gripping story. You paint so many vivid experiences, the car and the 2 wheels waving and all the crazy things she did, but somehow it always turned out just fine. And how she challenged you over and over again with all these different stink bombs, door handles, and all of that happened. Like, it's because you lived through them, you can tell them vividly, and I can feel it. I can see what you see because you paint this wonderful picture. Again, I'm going to reinforce this, and I got someone that tells me the same. You know, tell what you know, tell what you've experienced, because it leaves an impact, and it did for me. I'm not supposed to give opinions. It's just findings. I'm determined to be a good evaluator. Reference after reference, how she was crazy, but for some reason always turned out fine. She wasn't just a good mentor, you had a great one. One of the things that I would recommend is to say what made it ultimately a great one for you specifically. What ultimately inside or on an identity level? Because there's so many experiences. What's maybe the one thing that you took away from all of this? And if you can bring that back to the audience and say, like, how, and then ask them an open-ended question, leave it at that, I think you would have a wonderful hell of an impact at the end as well. Even though if I look at it like you start off with changing the course of your life. At the very beginning, you have this. It's a gripping beginning, and you end. Phenomenal. So that's why I wanted to start at the end, because you got us from the beginning all the way to the end. Thank you for
And this is Jeremy's first evaluation. I think it was superb job. Well done. And now I have Verity, and Verity is giving her evaluation of Lawrence. I was told I have to.
That's very formal. I love it. No, it's perfect. Thank you, Sean. Lawrence, thank you for taking us on a warm, passionate, engaging journey through the wheel of fortune that is playing PlayStation with a parent. I must say, I was hanging on my seat as you told us that story. This was a humorous speech and you nailed it. You are so funny and you had so many wonderful humorous moments in this. I love the humor on giving us Warren Buffett's net worth and then down to the cent how far off you are. You had me laughing straight out the start of your speech. You had the humor around the high priest of PlayStation, also beautiful use of metaphor, which is part of what you will want to need to look at is your use of your language, that your father turned from a Zen master into Hulk, but he also used vocal variety very powerfully there. You brought us straight out of our seats again. It was absolutely fantastic. And the humor of you shouldn't beat your father just before Christmas, that had me giggling. So the things that I loved around language as well was your description of your father, hands built for kneading. I think we could all see his hands. You painted a picture in our minds. And I'm just seeing what else, just the story. I really was hanging on that story. I could feel your need to beat him. And I loved this father-son moment that was happening. And a powerful call to action at the end that tied back to how you'd started with what game are you playing? Is your strategy working? You know, do you have that pride to adapt or are you prepared to stick to your guns? Absolutely fabulous. Things for you to work on. Where the voice worked with the Zen Master and Hulk, that was one of the only places I felt you really bring energy vocally. And especially when you were sneaking off to the corner, I would have loved you to pick up pace and to be like, I snuck off and it worked. And you've got to get us, our hearts need to be racing. And that's what your vocal variety will do there. I personally was wondering why Warren Buffett was in the story. I wasn't sure why he was here. This speech got meaningful when you started speaking about your dad. And I want you to take this speech and go into that story, make it more personal, because that's how you're going to make it more powerful, and find the message and the lesson there that's not to do with investing. Because I feel there was a much deeper thing here that was missed. So I need you to just work on making your speeches more personal. That's where your power is, and raising your voice more and using pace where needed to bring that energy to keep us on the edge of our seats. But please keep up your humor because you've got it in bucket loads, your energy, your metaphors and your descriptions, your passion for moments that have shaped you. That's the passion I want you to really lean into. And I really believe that if you keep investing in your speaking with determination, like you do with stocks and shares, that is going to be a winning strategy for you as a speaker. So I look forward to your next speech.
What a good evaluation. Okay, so now we have John. Are you, internet connection unstable makes me queasy.
American hotspot on my phone.
John, can you hear us? John?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, so this one's a bit slow. John, do you want to give the evaluation of Bill?
Sure, can you hear me okay?
I don't think the internet's ever been this bad. I can't remember it being this bad. Yeah, we got you, John.
Do hard things? Bill, you just did an extremely hard thing. You gave a speech to teenagers. I can't think of anything more difficult, and you accomplished it in a very inspiring way. I was looking for a couple of things that I thought would turn off teenagers, I was looking for you to see if you would be paternalistic, telling them what to do. I was looking to see if you would be lecturing and bossy. And I was looking to see if you would be authentic, a real person that they could relate to. And I thought it would be hard to accomplish all of that, but I feel that you did it by telling a simple, personal, meaningful story. And I liked how you did it because I was waiting to find out who he was. I wanted to find out who the great man was. And you didn't let us know until way into the story. So you had me hooked listening to find out who he was. And then when I found out that he was Jomo Kenyatta and also that he was John F. Kennedy, I was very interested. But I was also extremely interested because you were there. It was personal to you. You worked for John F. Kennedy. You were part of an enterprise that he started. And you were also there when Jomo Kenyatta spoke. So when you got to the point of what a good leader is, someone who is inclusive, who unites people, and who inspires people to do hard things, I was listening because you had credibility. You were there. If you wanted to take this speech to the next level, something to consider was I could tell you were looking at notes because every once in a while your head would go down and your head would go down. And it was a little bit distracting. And I think you know this story. This story is a part of you. So you probably don't need to do that. That's a minor change, but just keep up giving a good story that dramatizes important leaders, and those teenagers will be listening. Good job.
She's actually finished, so you can stop talking.
Okay, so we're determined to get through the night using technology. Can we get the speech times, please, and the evaluator times, please, Richard? Thank you.
For those of you who are evaluating online, I apologize if you couldn't see the cards. I don't know if that camera is working or not.
They can, they're just only came.
Okay, you've been frozen on that screen for a good hour now from our point of view. Anyway, Mina, timing's approximate. I had your feedback at 4 minutes, 11 seconds, but on our end, it was very patchy. So that's pretty approximate timing. Jeremy, I had your evaluation at 2 minutes, 12 seconds time. Verity, of course, came in at precisely 3 minutes, perfection. And John, we also had a very patchy connection for your feedback, but it seemed to be on time, just under 3 minutes as well. So well done. Thank you.
Now we come to that fun part of the evening where the impromptu speeches take place, and I'd like to hand over to Claire. Would you come up, please, Claire?
See if we swap and see if it makes any difference. Okay. But this HDMI cable was giving us hassle, so I'm terrified we lose everything.
Yeah.
Wait, it's just not.
Can you guys hear us?
Let me quickly change the audio settings here.
Right. Everybody hold their left thumb. Hoe linker, hoe flinker, hoe regter, hoe slegter. So left thumbs only. So what is table topics all about? Have you ever had that experience where a boss or somebody influential asked you a question and you went blank and you just didn't know what to say? Well, that's what Toastmasters Table Topics is all about. It's preparing us for those moments when we need to speak without preparation. So one of my mentors said to me with Table Topics, the trick is tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So it's an opening, it's a body, and it's a conclusion. So it sounds a bit stupid going, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. But that's actually the kind of the formula. So I want to check with our members online. Is there anybody that wants to do a table topic, please?
Phil said he would, but no one else was up.
Yeah.
Connection.
Well, anybody else online? Okay, we'll have a little think about it and we will get going. So I have some quotes, and basically for those who have volunteered to be table topic speakers to share your thoughts on the quote. So we're going to start with June, who's in the room. If you can come up. Right, so June, the optimist stays up until midnight to see the new year in. The pessimist stays up to make sure it leaves. That's Bill Vaughan's quote. Please share your thoughts. So an optimist stays up until midnight to see the new year in. A pessimist stays to make sure the old year leaves.
Yeah.
Remember over here at the camera.
Well.
How did you feel about this last year that left?
I was in the middle. I was sitting on the fence. Being neither the optimist nor the pessimist, I think. So I stayed up to watch the fireworks. Yes. And actually, I suppose it was also a mix, because I would have been more an optimist and, well, I don't know, would you be an optimist, but been one of the party people, but I couldn't because I had to be up early in the morning on New Year's Day to fetch my family. Yeah. So, you know, I was kind of a bit pessimistic about that, but what can I say about being an optimist? I've actually forgotten the entire sentence. But optimistically, I will continue trying. Well, that's about all I have to say. So great.
Becky. So your quote is, when life is sweet, say thank you and celebrate. When life is bitter, say thank you and grow. Shauna Nikwa. So when life is sweet, say thank you and celebrate. When life is bitter, say thank you and grow. Becky.
So I'll tell you a short story about a recent book I just read recently. So you guys probably have heard about Elon Musk and his new book written by, Isaacson or something, Walter Isaacson. I think that's the first thing that comes to mind because I think one of the biggest things I took from the book is that he was one of the few people who can't enjoy succeeding in something. Like every time he was successful with SpaceX, was one of the first people who built a rocket and was able to recycle it and didn't even celebrate about that. Richest person in the world, still sad. Doesn't make any sense to me because I'm someone who used to think that money is all I ever wanted in my life. Got a taste of it, and I think I've got a bit of a sense of why he feels the same way. I have a very weird feeling or weird relationship between success and failure. I think similar to Elon, one of the biggest things I learned from the book was he felt alive every time he had a problem to deal with, and I feel the same way. I feel more alive when I've got something I need to tackle or I need to help someone. But when it comes to something I've achieved, I don't really feel the same way. Yeah, I agree. When in the face of adversity, one needs to actually thrive, I guess. But yeah, I hope I haven't taken too much time.
Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. So, Bill, your table topic, since you're such an accomplished speaker, let's actually give you. Maybe I did some too higher grade ones. I thought they were okay. Every task, every goal, race, and year comes to an end. Therefore, make the habits to finish strong. Gary Ryan Blair. So every task, goal, race, and year comes to an end. Therefore, make a habit to finish strong. Gary Ryan Blair. Bill. I suppose I should say.
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Heavens to Murgatroyd. To finish strong. As you can see, I am not in Kenya anymore. This is more accurate. This is my house right now. This is why I'm wearing a cap, because it's too cold. I am 71. I have 10, 15, 20 years of good life left, and then I am gone. Soon, the next generation will be planting flowers on my grave. So everything that I do now is all that there is left to do. So I feel inspired to put myself out there. What do I want to leave behind me? What do I care about in the world? And your quote brings up that exact question. What do I really care about? What is the meaning of life? For me, after much philosophizing and everything, I realized that for me, the meaning of life is the next generation. I will be happy to see the kids of the next generation live better lives than I do. When I go to my grave in those last few moments of life, what will I be thinking about? I will be thinking about my students. I will be thinking about the kids that I helped grow up. As a teacher in high school and elementary school, I've taught everything. There is no greater joy for me than to be with kids, do things with kids, have fun with kids, help kids live better lives. And that often means pushing them hard. As a college professor, I do not give grades. You earn grades. And if you do not earn the grade, I do not give you a C. I give you your paper back. I say, fix the paper until it is good enough that you will be proud to give it to an employer. So there is my philosophy, Madam Table Topics Master.
Apologies about the no timing from Justine. but well done. Then JP. Okay, I hope this one is a good one. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Confucius. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. JP.
So when I was a young boy, my grandfather would always say, you work hard and you play hard. And in life, that's what gets you ahead. So along with that, there is something that I've learned to practice of recent, and that's the 5 AM Club, where you would basically practice first thing in the morning, putting your body, mind, and soul. So in other words, training. That's basically called the 20-20-20. The first 20 minutes of the day, you wake up, you exercise. Second 20 minutes, you meditate. And the last 20 minutes, you grow mentally. And the book is written by some guy who looked like a street bum. And he met up with another 2 people, unless I'm mixing this up with another book. But it was a tennis player. I think I might have mixed it up with another book. And I think a guy in a band. And they came together, and they were kind of like trying to figure out life principles. And so they never knew that this guy was actually a billionaire. And this guy took them around the world, teaching them these principles about the 5 AM Club, putting your body first, then your soul, and then your mind. And I must say, since doing that, I'm now a Toastmasters. So there's definitely something happening. And yeah, I've actually forgotten what the question is. But thank you for your time. And yeah.
And our last one, Ahmad. You can come join me. So, Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that it won't work. What in your life at the time felt like it might have been unsuccessful or a failure, but you learned something valuable out of it? So Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that do not work. Ahmad.
That actually resonates with me. I think, as I expressed before, I found that I have grown way more when I was failing. And by failing, in a lot of ways, we try to, well, we don't like to fail. I think it's natural to us. We like to succeed. But to succeed, it feels the end goal. Once you succeed, it's over, right? So what's next? And I felt that in many ways in my life, failing actually gave me or maintained the purpose alive. So I could actually get another shot and try again and try a different approach. I like that. I think I do like to succeed as well. Don't get me wrong. I do like to get it right. You can ask my wife. We like to debate a lot, but I think we learn a lot when we fail, and those lessons can also be applied to other areas in our lives. I think I'm okay. So what I would like to end this with is experiment, do things that you don't often do, and you'll see that you grow aspects in you that you didn't know they exist. So I think that's what I have to say today. Thank you.
thank you very much. I think I have tested your thinking skills, and I hope that I haven't scared you off. And I yield control back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much. Wonderful questions that you asked there, Claire. I sat very nervously on the chair going, oh God, I hope I didn't get that one. Richard, can you give us the table topics time?
We had a nice big crop of table topics today. So June with the world's worst table topic.
Thanks.
Hardest thing to deliver on, 1 minute, 21 seconds. Becky, excellent. First table topic, I think, 1 minute 38. Bill, inspired, 2 minutes 25. JP, excellent as well, 1 minute 42. And Ahmad, the well closed off table topic at 1 minute 50.
Just want to have one screen here and one screen here, otherwise I'm going to see who wins before I can answer.
All right, so
So you don't know.
You need help?
Yes, please.
So we're going to be voting on table topics now. We just bring the URL up.
I want to see Monday night. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to bring it up?
Yeah, just give me a second. I have to put the names in that. I didn't even find my mouse.
Excellent technical recovery.
Okay, there you go.
So I just want to say that was 3 people that spoke for the first time today, right? In table topics. And that's excellent. You guys are really good. So I was so impressed with how they. Oh, it's your second one. Yeah. Okay. And Becky, you don't have to say, I'm sorry, I've overstayed my time. You talk as long as you want, and then you go.
Sorry, I'm just typing in the names.
Okay.
Can we good?
So can I carry on?
Oh, I'm gonna do it right this second.
Okay. Maybe I won't carry on.
Oh, in like 2 seconds. Can we now just share my screen?
Maybe to the other role, feedback.
Okay, all right. So can we get the R counter feedback then? Andrea?
Thank you. I'm determined to get this right. Okay, so Chantel, 1 R, 2 so's, 1 repeat. Justine, 1 2 so's, 3 repeats. Sean, 1 R, 9 ums. 3 3 so's, 2 repeats. I had 1 and I just said something else as I started. Olga, 2 ums, 1 so. Richard, 1 1 2 so's and 1 repeat. Mina, 1 repeat, but it was hard to hear. Catherine, 2 R's, 13 ums, 1 but. Jeremy, 2 so's. Verity, 2 repeats, 1 Lawrence, 1 so, 1 repeat. John, very hard to hear on the PC, so I couldn't pick up anything there. And the same thing with Bill. Claire, you were clear.
Wow.
Gabrielle, 3 2 repeats and 2 clicking sounds. And table topics, I have June, who had 2 wells, 1 so and 3 buts. Becky, who had 3 and 2 buts and 1 repeat. Bill, nothing. JP, 3 1 well. And Ahmed, 5 1 well. That's it. Thank you.
And yeah, that was very, very well done. For your first attempt, that was really well done. So, Olga, can you come up and give us a grammarian report, please?
Oh, I'm sharing the wrong side. Okay. I have 3 pages for your good news. Okay. I was determined to take the role of a grammarian. Today was my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and members. I listened very carefully. I didn't hear any swearing words, but I heard the outstanding words and meaning of it. Potential energy shown gives us lesson. Chantel, to add value to the world, which we can address to Catherine's speech, her input into the world, what she plans for a new year, right? Put family first, Chantel, very simple, but how valuable. Lawrence, consistently compound. Dream, discipline, consistency. Gabriel, take my hand and say, I want to walk with you. How simple, but how powerful. I have this confidence with you, you know. June, optimistically continue trying. So there is positivity. And Ahmad, failing gives purpose in life. It's very important to fail, but important not to feel as a failure. Then, in conclusion, I would like to say that every meeting, we learn something new, we inspired, and we're ready to tackle our challenges. The word of the day, it was determined, was used a few times. The secret is that Jeremy had secretly competition with Sean. And I was a witness of that. So Sean used it 5 times. You're a winner today. Then Jeremy 4 times. Andrea once. And Verity once. And Olga once just now.
Thank you, Olga. And I just want to say, I'm getting to that, is that it was a challenge for Olga to do the grammarian. Now, Olga's Russian, so when I said to her, will you take on this role? She went, can I check up on what that role means? Can I come back to you? And then she came back to me and said, yes, she would. So I think that is really well done. Okay, so can we get the fire master?
Yeah,
Maxina?
Thank you so much, Toastmasters, for this wonderful opportunity. Hello, fellow trustees. Happy New Year to all of you. Oh, yes, you need to see me. I'm here. So today I had a task, a really huge task of being a fine master. Oh, where's my cup? I need to collect my money. Get your coins out. Oh, yes, thank you. Get your coins out. So the first one is myself for being late. And also, I didn't have any coins, so I did send mine online. So Verity, please do check. Apparently, my son did take away my coins in the morning. Then also Mina online, she was beautifully frozen. and looking very seriously beautiful. Oh my goodness, during Catherine's speech. Catherine, I'm coming to you because you are here for being a saucy teenager. We need something in my. Yes, please. Thank you. Helanda, you are money, my friend. Because Helanda always looks smart, right? Oh yes, let me come here. Helanda, I'm fine, master, because you always look smart, always, and you having your suit on. So please do send us our fine master.
Okay. Thank you.
Richard, you were so determined to do timekeeping while the internet is very frozen. I'm finding you. So Gabrielle, and Justin for you got us with the laptop, please do. Now we can see these beautiful people. Please do get us. Yes. And this is for you, Justin, for always being such a great president. Getting us small food and taking away our wine. Most amazing club, by the way. I just said the Netherlands, there was no food, so. Who else? Sean. Yes, I have to find you, my friend. For always using the word of the day in almost every meeting. We have to use you are the first one like this. Always comes first when it comes to the word of the day. Thank you. It was Jeremy. You did use the word of the day more than all of us, you know. So yes. Chantal, for forgetting my name tag, my friend. I'm thanking you for that. Thank you. Laura, you know your time. For making us laugh always, that's the first one. But also on your topics, the agenda is saying otherwise. Yeah. The agenda is saying, and they said, winning strategy. Yes. Thank you very much. I'm coming for your points today. Claire. Oh, sorry. And someone should just follow the roving Claire, for giving us such fun-filled topics, yet somehow so hard. I think I have one more. I think there's someone. Let's see. I have my little notes here. Okay, I think June, you and I were very late, my friend. That's my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maximina. Just count how much is in there because we need a new computer. We gotta be able to put Okay. All right. So are we back? Are we determined to vote?
Yeah, I have to. We're
Okay.
determined.
Okay. Right. So the voting.
You see your 16 now.
So let's move it across.
At the end of the year, we will buy a new computer.
Oh. Persevere.
There we go.
Or a little. Very close.
We've got 44 ranks.
Oh, wow.
Okay, can you reach it without having to go all the way in? Not doing that.
Okay.
Oh, it's doing it on this side. Did everyone manage to vote?
Everyone done? Great.
Got another vote.
So you're gonna give the results.
Give me some time to compile them quickly. Just check.
Do you want me to dance?
Yeah.
Well, we need.
Not, you're not seeing it screen.
For speeches for next one, yeah.
And yeah.
Can we just get anyone a show of hands? This is for the contest. If any of you haven't put your names down.
I'm the only one who's put my name on there.
Well,
It's full of blankness.
no, we're gonna go after people after this. So who would like to do a speech at the next meeting that we've got, while we just got people here? That answer I don't have. Another question. Jeremy?
This, if nobody else.
What I've noticed is when I'm putting the roles out onto the online, it's, you notice I've done Toastmasters twice in a row. So like, when I'm putting these roles out, if I don't get people coming forward, I'm going to ask you to take up those roles. And Lawrence has said, if any of you are new at the Toastmaster role, he will mentor you for this Toastmaster role.
The next one is online meeting.
The next one will be an online.
That you're planning
Yeah.
now.
Yes, but when we have the physical meetings, Lawrence will walk you through the thing on the, so please step up and take on the Toastmaster role, because it's a very important role, just about being an MC and being in front of people. And then you've got Lawrence that will be the mentor for that. So please do step up. I noticed that the one role that people don't often step up for, Lawrence ends up doing them.
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Okay, Richard's Toastmaster.
Do the next.
What's the?
We're gonna
Okay. Are you ready?
You wanting water?
Yes.
Okay.
So can I yield over to you to give the awards? So I now yield
Are you
back.
done for everything else?
I'm done.
Okay.
I yield back to the president.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, I didn't know awards. When filled in the names yet, but we'll go quick. No, we can hug. We don't have to handshake. Okay.
That's because she won't drink with me, but I can't hug.
Oh, yeah. It's a pleasure for taking away the wine. I didn't take the wine away, guys. I promise you. Anyway.
Indeed.
No,
we were buying for everyone.
No, there's wine. You just have to bring your own now. And then every now and then there's a special occasion and then we supply wine and bubbles, but it was getting a little bit costly.
Yes.
Yes.
We had always champagne and
So we
wine,
thought,
and
maybe.
we are at the bottom, we fill it up and then you get back there.
Yeah. And we thought everyone was doing dry January, but obviously not. Not you. I just want to thank you all, and especially everybody online, for your patience this evening with all of our technical issues. It's been interesting, to say the least, but we got there. We were determined and we got there. So thank you. I appreciate it. This doesn't usually happen. Everyone online, I know we've lost all of our guests, so we'll have to check in with them, but everyone who stayed and were determined to push through to this bit of the meeting, thank you so much for staying.
I just want to comment, so I'm not going to sit here and do an evaluation on everyone, but I know I've limited for time. I just want to comment on our speakers this evening. Catherine, you're amusing and hilarious, and your growth since you started at Toastmasters to where you are now has been outstanding. So congratulations. And Chantal, you are such an amazing storyteller, and your speech was great this evening. And I can also see your progress from now to where you are, from where you were to where you are now. And I love hearing your stories, so thank you for sharing. And then Lawrence, thank you for always reminding us to, it's always, we have to financially keep ourselves intact, and I'll sit there going, okay. But thank you for always reminding us to be consistent with our dreams. So thank you. And great. And then Bill, thank you so much. We did have a little bit of technical issues, so I look forward to watching our recording, and I'm hoping it's going to be better than what we had in the room. But thank you so much for being with us tonight. And thank you for sharing your speech with us. And then table topics. Claire, thank you so much. You always bring in such lovely topics. So thank you very, very much. And to all of our participants in table topics, you were all fabulous. Well done. I noticed there was seemingly a common theme in the table topics with the word failure. So I thought I would share this quote by John Maxwell, who said, fail early, fail often, but always fail forward. Yeah. So you can take that home in your pockets. We had quite a few first-time role players this evening. My list is long. Olga Grammarian, congratulations. You did a great job. Thank you. Richard Timer, I'm so sorry I let you down. But well done. Thank you so much. Andrea Alcounter. Need to work on my R's and ums and ums or whatever it was. And repeats. Jeremy, evaluator. Thank you. And Maximina, fun master. Thank you all. You all make it possible for our evening to run so smoothly. Okay, now we can do awards time, and then we'll do a quick check-in with guests. So think about if you want to just say, I'm going to ask just for one word because we have a time constraint. So think about one word. If you are a guest, you could just put your hand up and you could tell me your one word. But let's first see who won with our awards. I have to share from here. Actually, you know what? Maybe we don't share it on the screen. Yeah. Okay. Let me just write the names in very quickly.
Are you like choosing now?
No, I got it.
I think we need to see it.
We can check online later, I promise. For those online, I'm just going to do it on the screen because to share, it's just becoming a bit challenging. So we'll start with our best speaker of the night. So drum roll, please. How many of those do you really have? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, best evaluator. So best speaker and best evaluator all in one night.
Hey, thank
Lawrence,
you.
pleasure. Do you want that? No, we keep it.
Give it back.
There's still food for me to take pictures of. And then, for the most important prize, the best tabletop. You get to keep your ribbon because you are special.
Okay.
And then just one extra little I've just made one extra award because I feel like we can celebrate this. I want to give this award to somebody who, when I first started in Toastmasters, had a lot of crutch words. And tonight she had no crutch words, no filler words. The outstanding Toastmaster tonight.
For those of you who fear, when I was a member in England, in Eastbourne Speakers, in one night, I got 50 ums and ahs, and I wasn't even doing a speech. So, there is
Let's quickly, a guest, let's choose 3 guests. Put your hand up if you'd like to share a word with me or us. Yes, Brandon, tell us all your word. Or a sentence. Okay.
Courageous.
Courageous. Yay, thank you. Any other? Philip, yes, please share.
Personal.
Personal, love it, thank you. Anybody else? Maybe our little tabletop explainer. Oh, Julia. Forward. Love it. Please, if you have, for our guests, if you have questions, if you want to chat with us, we're here afterwards. Let's have a conversation and get some membership going. When I started the meeting this evening, we spoke about our RAS and setting intent on finding new paths for us to create in our minds. And the theme tonight was, or is, a new direction. So I just wanted to share this with you, and then we are all free to go off and enjoy our evening. Edward de Bono said, "You cannot look in a new direction by looking harder at the same direction." So I encourage you all to look in new directions, open your eyes, look for those cars that you maybe didn't see before, but not cars, you know what I mean. And then follow your dreams and just be the change that you want to see. So I thank you all for this evening. Thank you for bearing with technical issues. And I love you all. And I will see you in our next meeting, which is, I was meant to check. Sorry. I'll tell you on the group. Goodbye, everybody online.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Justine.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It was great.
Bible, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, let's in the
Total vortex. US from Fahrenheit.